Blood and Moonlight. Chapter 1. The Huntress and the Hunted. The vampire Selene moved through the night like smoke, her crimson lips curling as she caught the scent of her Lena, the human girl who haunted her dreams. Lena's blood was different, intoxicating, laced with something ancient and sweet. But tonight, as Selene stepped from the shadows of the alley, she wasn't alone. Lena wasn't just human, she was the last of a bloodline of witches, though she didn't know it yet. Her scent was a drug to the supernatural, a siren call that had vampires and wolves alike hunting her. Selene, a 400-year-old vampire queen, had sworn she'd never crave a mortal's pulse again until she tasted Lena's lips in a midnight alley and felt magic spark between them. Selene had watched Lena for months. The girl was different. Her blood wasn't just sweet, it sang with magic. A witch's blood, though Lena didn't know it yet. Selene had rules: never crave, never linger. But when she finally cornered Lena in an alley, pressing her against the brick wall, she broke them all. "You don't know what you are, do you?" Selene purred, pinning her against the brick wall, her fangs grazing Lena's jugular. "Your blood sings to me. It's intoxicating." "You smell like fate," Selene murmured, her fangs grazing Lena's throat. A snarl echoed behind them. The wolf was back. A low growl rumbled through the dark. Kieran, the wolf, stood between them, his golden eyes burning with warning. His body was a wall of muscle and fur, his loyalty to Lena unshakable. "You don't get to touch her," he snarled. Selene smirked, fangs glinting. "And what if she wants me to?" Behind him, Lena's breath hitched. She should have been afraid. But the way Selene looked at her, like she was a feast and a flame, made her pulse race in ways that had nothing to do with fear. A snarl cut through the dark. Kieran, the alpha wolf bound to protect Lena's bloodline, lunged, his teeth sinking into Selene's shoulder before she vanished into mist. "Touch her again," he growled, "and I'll bathe in your ashes." Lena's body burned where Selene's hands had been. Lena didn't believe in monsters until one saved her life. She was walking home past the old cemetery when the vampires attacked. Not the romantic, brooding kind, these were feral, blood-starved beasts. She would have died if not for the wolf. He moved like a shadow, his fur silver in the moonlight, his teeth ripping through undead flesh. When it was over, he turned to her, and for a heartbeat, his glowing amber eyes burned with something human. Then he vanished. Later that night, she dreamed of cold hands and a woman's voice whispering her name. Chapter 2. Forbidden Hunger. Kieran had been cursed to guard Lena's ancestors, a punishment for an ancient sin. He hated vampires, but he hated his curse even more. When she dreamwalked, her magic called to her, visions of hot skin and tangled sheets, her moans echoing in the night. She woke up aching, furious. Selene felt it too. She slithered into Lena's dreams, her voice a velvet command. "Let me in, little witch. Let me show you what pleasure really is." Lena woke up drenched in sweat, her thighs pressed together, her sheets smelling of dark roses and winter frost, Selene's scent. Lena wasn't supposed to crave the enemy. Vampires were killers. But Selene? She was different, wicked, yes, but with a smirk that promised sin and hands that traced Lena's skin like she was something sacred. Their secret meetings were reckless. Midnight in the abandoned church, Selene's cold fingers mapping Lena's ribs. The wolf's howls in the distance, getting closer. "He'll tear my throat out if he finds us," Selene murmured against Lena's neck, but she didn't stop. Kieran knew. He could smell Selene on her. "She'll destroy you," he warned. Lena shot back, "Or maybe I'll destroy her first." Chapter 3. Blood Oath. The three of them collided in a storm of danger and power. Selene, pinning Lena to her coffin, drinking her magic between kisses. Kieran, watching from the shadows, his beast roaring to destroy the vampire. Lena, her power awakening, her skin glowing with forbidden runes. "You're mine," Selene hissed, her hand sliding between Lena's thighs. Like hell, Kieran snarled, yanking her back, only to freeze when Lena's eyes flashed pure white. The ground trembled. The old magic in her veins had been waiting. In the end, It wasn't about blood or bites. It was Lena's fingers tangled in Selene's hair, the vampire's moan against her throat, the wolf's growl of surrender as he guarded their door. Selene whispered, "You taste like forever." Lena grinned. "Prove it." And under the moonlight, the two of them forged something dangerous, sexy, and alive. Then 3 nights later it all came to a head. Selene was cornered, silver knives at her throat, hunters closing in. Kieran could have let her die. But Lena's scream tore through him. "Save her!" With a snarl, the wolf attacked not Selene, but her enemies. Teeth and claws versus steel and holy water. After, Selene lay bleeding on the ground, Lena's hands pressing into the wound. "Why?" Selene gasped. Kieran bared his teeth. "Because she loves you. And I love her enough to let her choose." Selene's laugh was ragged. "How terribly noble." Chapter 4. The Coven's Curse. Lena's dreams grew darker. Visions of a coven's massacre. A betrayal. A curse. She woke screaming, her skin burning with invisible runes. Selene was there in an instant, her cold fingers soothing the fire. "The magic in you is waking," she whispered. "And they'll come for it." Kieran stood in the doorway, his body tense. "We have to leave. Now." For the first time in centuries, the wolf and the vampire agreed on something. Lena's ancestors hadn't just been witches, they'd been betrayed. Their curse was tied to Kieran's pack and Selene's sire. The Coven's descendants found them. Witches with hollow eyes and knives of bone. They wanted Lena's blood to finish what their ancestors started. Kieran fought like a demon, but the curse wouldn't let him kill them. He roared in frustration as his body locked in place. Selene hissed, her fangs bared, but she was outnumbered. Then Lena screamed. Not in fear. In power. The runes on her skin blazed gold. The witch's knives shattered. And Kieran felt it, the curse breaking. For the first time in 300 years, his wolf was free. Chapter 5. The Throne of Shadows. In the end, they rewrote the curse. Selene, kneeling before Lena, her fangs dripping with shared blood. Kieran, standing next to them, proud, teeth glistening in the moonlight. The 3 of them, bound by magic, lust, and vengeance. The Coven's ghost screamed as the spell shattered. And when the last enemy fell, it wasn't a sword that ended them, it was Lena's moan as Selene took her, her magic burning the world to ash. Chapter 6. The Bond. After, they stood in the ruins of the battle. Kieran's amber eyes met Lena's. "You freed me." Kieran's mind rushes back to the past. 300 years ago. Kieran, a mortal king, kneels before Vespa, a witch with onyx eyes and a smile like broken glass. His people are dying of plague. She offers a deal, your loyalty for their lives. He accepts, then betrays her. Crackling hearth fire, Vespa's nails scraping Kieran's jaw, the howl of wind as the curse takes hold. Vespa spoke the curse. "You will guard my bloodline, Wolf King. You will watch them die, over and over, and never save them. Only when a witch loves you, and you let her go, will you be free." The twist. Kieran didn't know Lena was Vespa's last descendant. The curse broke because he chose to let Lena love Selene. Selene watched them, something dark and possessive curling in her chest. Lena reached for her. And when their hands touched, something new sparked between them, a bond deeper than blood. Kieran's growl was softer this time. "I suppose I can share." Selene smirked. "How generous." Lena rolled her eyes, but her heart was racing. The war wasn't over. But for now, they had each other. Epilogue. The Throne of Shadows. Rumors spread of a human girl who walked with monsters. A vampire queen who drank the blood of her enemies. A wolf who had finally found his pack. And the witches who whispered of a new era. One where love broke curses. Crimson Throne. A dark vampiric court and the rise of the last witch. Part 1. Selene's Court of Shadows. Chapter 1. The Blood Council. Selene hadn't stepped foot in the Black Citadel, the ancestral seat of her vampiric court, in decades. But with Lena's awakening magic drawing dangerous eyes, she had no choice. The moment she entered the grand hall, the crimson-cloaked nobles turned, their fangs glinting in the candlelight. You've been gone too long, little queen, purred Malric, her former general, his hand resting on the hilt of a bone dagger. And now you bring a witch and a wolf into our halls? Selene's smile was razor-sharp. I'd introduce you, but Lena might set you on fire before dessert. Behind her, Kieran growled, his wolf sensing the predators circling. Lena, though, her fingers sparked with golden embers. The court went very, very still. Chapter 2. The Trial of Fangs. Vampires did not tolerate weakness. To keep Lena safe, Selene had to prove her dominance. The challenge came at midnight, a duel to the death. Selene fought Malric in the obsidian pits, their blades clashing as the court hissed bets. But when Malric cheated, using shadow magic to pin her, Lena stepped forward. A flashback burned in her mind. A circle of women in bone-white robes, chanting under a blood moon. Young Lena, a child, watches from the shadows as her mother, High Priestess Althea, weaves a spell to protect their bloodline. Suddenly, torches. Screams. The Coven's men, armed with silver and hatred, storm the grove. Chanting in a forgotten tongue, sudden roar of fire, Althea's scream as a blade pierces her chest. Althea, dying Lena, run. The magic sleeps in you. It will wake when she returns. The revelation. Lena's magic was suppressed by her mother's dying spell to hide her from the betrayers. The she is Vespa, the original witch who cursed Kieran. Enough. Her voice shook the castle. The torches flared white-hot. Malric screamed as his own shadows burned him alive. The court dropped to their knees. Selene wiped blood from her lips and grinned. Any other objections? Chapter 3. The Crown of Ashes. With the court subdued, Selene claimed her throne, with Lena beside her. You're not just my consort, Selene murmured, tracing Lena's jaw. You're their ruin if they cross us. Kieran, now freed from his curse, but bound by choice, stood guard. I still hate vampires, he muttered. Liar, Lena laughed, kissing his forehead before turning to Selene. You love our wolf. Selene's fangs grazed her throat. I love what's mine. Part 2. Lena's Ascension. Chapter 4. The Witch Queen Awakens. Lena's magic grew uncontrollable. Her dreams were no longer dreams, they were visions of the past. The slaughtered coven. The betrayer who cursed Kieran. The lost grimoire that could make her unstoppable. When she woke, the castle's stained glass windows had shattered. Selene pinned her to the bed, her grip unyielding. You're tearing yourself apart, the vampire hissed. We're finding that grimoire. Kieran's eyes flashed. Even if it's guarded by the ones who cursed me? Lena's smile was dark. Especially then. Lena stands in the ruins of her mother's grove, her hands buried in the soil. The ghosts of the coven swirl around her. Selene and Kieran watch as the memories flood her mind. Ghostly whispers, Lena's gasp as visions hit, Kieran's growl of realization. Lena, shaking Vespa, wasn't just a witch. She was my grandmother. And you, turns to Kieran, you were her downfall. Vespa's spirit rises, a writhing mass of shadows and thorns. Selene steps forward, fangs bared. Sorry, grandmother. But this bloodline belongs to me now. Chapter 5. The Bone Altar. The trio descended into the catacombs of the Forgotten, where the coven's remnants festered. The air reeked of rotten magic. The walls whispered. And at the center stood the High Priestess, a skeletal thing draped in cobwebs. You should have died with your bloodline, she croaked. Lena's hands blazed. You missed one. The battle was brutal. Kieran fought in a frenzy, Selene moved like death itself, and Lena unleashed her magic. When it was over, the grimoire floated into her hands, its pages glowing. Chapter 6. A New Covenant. Back at the Citadel, Lena pressed her bloodied palm to Selene's chest. I claim you as mine. Forever. The vow seared their souls together. Kieran, ever the protector, clasped her other hand. And I choose to stand with you. Both of you. Selene's court watched in awe as golden vines coiled around the three of them at a new covenant. The last witch. The vampire queen. The redeemed wolf. The world would fear them. Epilogue. The Crimson Era. Whispers spread across kingdoms. The vampire court now answers to a witch. The Wolf King walks beside his mortal enemies, and the shadows themselves bow to their union. Some called it heresy, others a revolution. But in the dead of night, when Selene's fangs pierced Lena's throat while Kieran kept watch, it was simply love. Drenched in blood, wrapped in magic, and absolutely ruthlessly eternal. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe and like this video and follow me for more stories. You are always welcome here, and leave me a comment or a thumbs up, just letting me know if you like the story and would like more, or is there perhaps an idea that you would like to share or let me write for you.